Welcome to your weekly program, BelAhdan, the show that brings you 2014 to your living room. My God, 2013 is over. Thanks God. It's a horrible year. It's long. It is full of a lot of events and national and bad news, economy, and Arab Spring is gone nowhere and all that. So I would like to start 2014 with positive, great stories. We have here a very special guest that really an amazing story about their academy. We have Sheikha Aysha Wazwaz. She is the founder and director of Gems of Lights Academy. It's a full university there, Islamic study for women, dedicated for women. And it's amazing that a lot of stories about Muslims and Muslim Americans that we don't hear about it, but that's why our show is very vital. Okay, welcome, Aysha, Sheikha Aysha. I'd like to say Sheikha Aysha or Aysha. How do you gonna
answer these
questions?
questions?
What do people should handle those kind of ignorant, kind of silly questions?
Well, most of the times I would say, we're not talking about individual cases, because for individual cases, you could actually, if you're actually walking the street and somebody, just all of a sudden hits you, you're not going to say, well, I've got a pamphlet for you. You're not going to be saying that. So before we deal with individual cases,
how do you deal with?
CARE did a very good job on that, and CARE actually does a lot of good things on that.
But this is kind of casual.
Right. We're not talking about individual cases. I believe that it's very important to spread awareness when people are calm. When people are calm, you can talk to people.
Interesting.
When somebody's angry, it's not the right time to speak. The person's not going to be listening.
Yeah. I like that.
And that's why we decided, go to schools, go to universities, go to hospitals, go to prisons, long term, and bring about the awareness and remove those stereotypes by having that person-to-person communication in where they can actually talk to you and ask you and really feel that, I'm a human just like you. I'm a woman just like you. I go through different situations just like you. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a teacher. I have potentials, I have goals that I want to achieve just like you.
It's interesting that I found in my own humble experience that Muslim women that, get with the dress, niqab, hijab, a very strong personality. Obviously, from the way you talk, when you think this is, comes from a very strong woman. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing. How you were raised. People, your family treat you different than your brothers and all that.
I would say a great thanks to my mother. My mother was a Catholic. My grandmother was a Catholic nun for 17 years. And subhanAllah, when my mother grew up...
So you were not raised as a Muslim?
My mother became Muslim later on.
Oh, I see.
So she was actually born in Chicago. With that situation, that dynamic, and my mother really had a large impact on me and how to actually be strong and how to actually, if you believe in something, even if people dislike it. If you believe in something and you believe that that's what you should be doing, as long as your priority is number one priority is God Almighty, you shouldn't be worried about what people think of you. And that's what Allahu Akbar means. It's actually putting God Almighty as my number one priority.
Not fitting anybody else.
Exactly. Yes, I'm a normal woman like any other woman. Yes, I have different things that any other woman has. But guess what? I put God Almighty as my number one priority, and I'm going for my number one priority. Even if I have the different feelings that other women have, I'm trying to balance priorities.
Well, Sheikha Aysha Wazwaz, thank you so much for coming and talking to us. We're talking about a strong Muslim woman. There's nobody really fit that things as also not just a strong woman here facing discrimination in the United States, but also now strong women in Egypt, where the woman of Brotherhood that I stumbled to her last week, young woman. She also founded a British Academy there. She translated books and literature. And when I asked her if you want to, be introduced as a member of Brotherhood, because the Egyptian government criminalized the Brotherhood. Now, all of a sudden, they were in power a year ago. Now they are all terrorists. And Sisi and his government start talking like Bush administration, war on terrorism. Before we know it, he's going to say the axis of evil. It's just a bankruptcy policy and strategy. I had this interview with Iman Farouk, and we'll show this interview. Just the theme of strong Muslim women facing challenges, not just in the United States, but in their own country. Well, see you next week. Assalamu alaikum, and God bless you all. What does that mean? Designating the Brotherhood as a terrorist organization, how would it affect you as a member of that organization?
You mean the last decision of considering the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist group?
Yeah, this sounds like Bush. Something American will say. This is like the war on terrorism and all that. Next time they're gonna say the axis of evil, and I don't know who gives this idea to this guy.
Actually, I see this as very ridiculous, very, very ridiculous. It's a joke. It's really a joke because the Muslim Brotherhood has been a large part of the Egyptian population for over 80 years. They are, one of them is your friend, one of them is your colleague, one of them is your neighbor, and so on. So how can you now say that these people are terrorists? All people know them, and all people have dealt with them. So how can you come now and say that, and who will believe you, actually? So I see this is really a joke. They have actually did everything possible to prevent demonstrations, everything possible to gain power over people, to control the streets, and they have actually failed. They have did massacres. We have over 6,000 people who were killed in the streets of Egypt since the coup. And they after all this killing, they couldn't prevent people from demonstrating and from demanding freedom in the streets. So actually, what's easier than creating a form of the other? The idea that Edward Said talked about, to create the other, to project the negative qualities or any negative qualities you like, and project them on a certain one or a certain nation or a certain race, for example, and to start creating the other. And this is the other, and you have the media and you have control over everything in the country. So you have the media, and you can say, okay, these are terrorists, do not deal with them. They have to be killed. They have to be so and so. And actually, people know everything. I don't think that the Egyptian people are so ignorant or can be easily deceived.
I mean, what are the choices available now for the Egyptian? I mean, you have military fascism, and people think we have Islamic fascism. So, what are Egyptian, choices do they have now?
Okay.
Is the latest event affects your personal life at all? Are you worried? Are you afraid? There is a place you can go? Do you have to pay attention all the time about what's going on, about your safety, about your...
Yes, I have to say that it was actually there was a change in the look of people. Some people believed what is in media now. Some people said, yes, you are, as long as you are a member of the Muslim Brotherhood, then you are a terrorist, then you are one of those who agree to kill people in the streets and so on. And others actually know Iman as Iman. Iman is Iman, whether she is under Morsi's regime or under a military coup. Yeah.
As a young woman, Muslim, Egyptian, what was the attraction? What's your relationship with brother? I still don't understand what's the difference being a brotherhood and just being Iman, a Muslim,
when you are in the brotherhood, you are in a system in which you can serve people well, in which you can help people well, in which you can have your own like I mean, in the brotherhood, I can meet people. I can talk to them about religion, about life, about politics, about ethics, about. I can have my own way preaching. I can have my own way discussing things with people. I can have my own way like making any kind of book clubs and so on. I can have my own way helping the poor, helping in any kind of organization. In the brotherhood, I can be with with the people of my country. I can help them. I love that. I love this life.
Well, that doesn't sound like a terrorist ideas. And women participation in the last 3 years is really outstanding, and the forefront in January 25th revolution, the forefront of Muhammad Ali, Rabah, even now. So tell us about what have changed about the social status of women, and how this January 25th revolution affect the role of women in politics and economy and public life.
I participated in the revolution of Jan 2011, and I participated in every kind of election that came afterwards. And I participated in Rabah and in the demonstrations that are taking place in streets now. And I see many women in the forefront, like you said, participating and speaking their minds and defending this country. And actually, concerning the last events, we have seen that women have been put in jail, and this is actually for the first time in our history, or in the modern history of Egypt. It was a new phenomena. The cult actually is using every possible way, as I said, to prevent these demonstrations. And one of them was jailing women and jailing even children. This is the first time I see children are jailed for saying what they believe and so on. So I see that the part of the role of women in our revolution is very essential. I see they participated in everything. I see they have taken the forefront in many situations. I see we are working together as Egyptians with no difference between man and woman. We can all struggle for our country, and we can all struggle for our freedom. That's it. That's how I. So I'm one of the Brotherhood. I'm a member of the Brotherhood, and I have been having a role in this organization since I started to be among them, and they respect me, and they respect my mind, and they respect my views, and I have to say that everything inside the Brotherhood itself is going in the way of democracy. Everything is by voting and so on. So you have to know people, you have to see people, you have to deal with people, you have to talk with people to know them, not just listen to what the media say and so on.
Well, thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Thanks so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'm going to end